its target and returns to its owner. Thor can also control lightning and thunder by pressing the hammer's handle. But most importantly, this weapon is so heavy that no living creature can lift it, except if Odin believes that the person is worthy to do so. And in fact, there were more characters that could do it in the original comics than you think. Today, we're going to tell you all about them. But before we start, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get it on. Captain America. If you saw the last Avengers movie, you'll probably remember the spectacular final battle in which the giant Thanos and his army are finally defeated by the team of superheroes. But before that happens, we can see a lot of other exciting things. And this is one of them. The supervillain knocks Thor out of action, and it seems that he is on the verge of death. But suddenly, the brave Captain America appears and saves his buddy. And he does it, of course, with the help of Mjolnir, proving that he is worthy of holding it. By the way, this also happens in the comic books. In Age of Ultron, one of the first films of the Avengers, Steve Rogers had already tried to pick up the divine weapon. It happens in an amusing scene in which the team is having a good time at a party to celebrate the destruction of Hydra. Hawkeye mockingly states that the whole story of Thor's hammer is a fairy tale to scare his enemies. Then Thor offers Hawkeye to pick up the weapon. He willingly accepts, but fails. As does everyone's favorite Tony Stark with his powerful superhero hand. And only Captain America manages to move the hammer at least a little.
Come on, Cap.
Vision. Here we have one of the most powerful Avengers. This android was created with the help of Thor and Tony Stark using the Mind Stone. And judging by this scene from Age of Ultron, Vision is also worthy of effortlessly lifting Thor's hammer. The Avengers were speechless when they saw him do it, although some of the fans of the saga claim that this doesn't mean anything yet, because Vision didn't use the magical powers of the weapon in this scene. Jane Foster. According to the Marvel Comics, this girl is the assistant of Dr. Donald Blake, Thor's first mortal host, and she is in love with this superhero. But not everyone knows that later in the comics, Jane becomes Thor after Odin sends his son to New York to live as an ordinary doctor. But there is a problem. At the same time, she is fighting cancer and undergoing chemotherapy. The magical power of the hammer neutralizes the effects of the treatment, and Jane's superhero alter ego is gradually killing her. However, the risk of death doesn't deter the brave heroine, who decides to fight for good until the end, and later becomes a Valkyrie. Loki. People who have never read the comics about the Avengers and have not seen a single movie about these superheroes have a hard time understanding about which characters we're talking about. Moreover, Marvel's authors have made this task even more complicated. Let's take a look at Loki, Thor's half-brother. In the canonical version of the story, he's a supervillain who fights against the Avengers.
I am Loki.
However, in a comic book series called Axis, everything changes. Loki's a good guy, while his brother becomes the embodiment of evil. All of this is a consequence of the mischief of Red Skull, who for some time inverted